Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, the Senate confirms National Cyber Director pick Sean Cairncross. And there's a new commission to examine how to create an independent U.S. military cyber force. It's Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening. And now let's get to the day's top headlines. The Senate has voted to confirm Sean Cairncross as National Cyber Director, giving the Trump administration one of its top cyber officials after a more than 5-month process. The vote was 59-35. President Donald Trump nominated Cairncross on February 12th. The Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee held a hearing on his nomination early in June, then voted to advance him that same month. At his Senate confirmation hearing, Cairncross said he'd be most focused on policy coordination. He fielded questions from senators about his lack of cyber experience, the biggest cyber threats, cuts to federal cybersecurity personnel, and more. Cairncross has held leadership positions inside and outside of government where there's been a tenuous connection to cybersecurity. He served as CEO of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, a foreign aid agency in the first Trump administration, along with roles in the White House. He's also a former top official at the Republican National Committee. Despite that, Cairncross has the vocal support of numerous cyber experts and past government cyber officials. In other news, a new commission has been established to chart a path toward developing an independent cyber force for the U.S. military. The commission was started by the Center for Strategic and International Studies in partnership with the Cyber Solarium Commission 2.0 project at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. While there have been calls historically to create a new dedicated standalone cyber service, the effort has gained steam in recent years. Congress has sought to address these shortfalls mostly through studies previously. The fiscal 2025 National Defense Authorization Act initially mandated a study for alternate organizational models for military cyber elements to include a cyber force, which was considered a watered-down version from previous drafts. The new commission won't be examining the efficacy of a cyber force, something congressional studies have already been tasked with doing, but rather looking at the foundational issues of establishing that type of entity, such as the organizational structure, core functions, roles and responsibilities, and necessary authorities, according to a press release. Currently, the services are responsible for providing a set number of cyber mission force teams to U.S. Cyber Command, known as Force Generation, which employs those forces in operations. Within the military, the services are responsible for providing that right number of trained personnel with weapons known as man, train, and equip to the combatant commands that conduct the warfighting. Outside voices have expressed concerns that the services aren't living up to this arrangement in cybersecurity, due in part to the fact that it's not always a priority and that those forces belong to Cybercom, not the services. This has led to persistent readiness issues across the cyber mission force for many years. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, as always, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.